I'm back with the review of the Tanchjim Cora. A few people kind of like interested of the outcome, so you guys are going to find out. So yeah, I bought the blue version. It comes in 5, I think it's blue, black, pink, green and red. I think it's the colours. Before we get into anything, one thing I noticed before I say anything else is these are really power hungry, which I didn't expect. I was expecting something like the Blon BL-03 and the Semkarch CNT1, you know, something kind of like that, but I'll get into it. So yeah, 16 ohms, 103 decibels, so that's an indication of it was a bit tough. 1.2 meters, carbon diaphragm, blah blah blah. Yeah, but yeah, you saw that in the box. One thing I missed in the unboxing is this. So November 2018. So I didn't know these had been out for so long. So yeah, what you get in the box is you get wide bore tips, which is these. Yeah, wide bore tips and kind of like normal size. I tried between them. It came fitted with normal size, and I tried the wide bores, and I didn't. It's any kind of. It didn't really sound quite right, so I went straight back to the normal size, and it sounds. That's my preference, but everybody's ears are different. I prefer the normal size. Obviously, you get this pouch, which is not too bad, which I didn't expect. I guess when these came out originally, they might have been more expensive than the £34 I paid. All the sellers, for some reason, when I was looking at this, was all selling it for 38, and then one was selling it for 34. So there you go, I had it for the cheapest one. A negative, attached cable, which is not the best. See how the cable is really easy to pack away. See, by default it wants to curl up, so if you want to, you know, transport it, it does that. It does that like by itself. But to keep using it, it can get tangled really easy. Start this end. So yeah, 3.5 straight. I would have preferred angled, but like I said, strain relief does its job. It's very smooth cable. I would have preferred a detached, but you know, kind of everything. Tanchjim. The cable's well built enough. Chin slide is not very effective because the cable's so smooth. See, you know, it's not too good. Anyway, what we want to talk about: right one, left one. You can obviously from the logo, you know, to right, that's from the left. So if you quickly want to pick them up, you know, you can tell. And there's also, see that little see that there? That means it's the left one, and that doesn't have it. You can feel it's 3D, so it sticks out. See, it sticks out. So by feel, say if you're a blind user, you know, if you're blind, you always know that's the left one. Really small in size. Here is his QKZVK balls, which are quite good. Like for like. And that's like the KZZST shape. Look at the difference. These things are tiny. I struggled initially to get a good fitment, but trial and error, it's fine. They don't really weigh much. They're quite light. You know, normally used to like metal construction, plastic. But it seems to have built well enough. At least you can see the driver. I'll take this off. Get straight in. Yeah, so one of the negatives really, if your class as that, is power hungry. Because it depends what you'll be plugging, you know, these into as your source. So I've had to compare to like the Semkarch and the Blon. They're a bit easier to power than these. I didn't really expect that. But let's get into, yeah, comfort. Comfort's really good. It's really small. Just takes a bit of trial and error trying to to fit right and the right tips. That was probably one of the worst struggles. It's normally because it's so small. But let's go to let's go to the low end, the bass. I found for my testing on a bunch of different sources, compared to I'm using the Blon and the Semkarch because a few people have the Blons, and because this is more expensive, it's a good comparison. But I found the Blon has more mid bass than this. It surprised me. I was expecting something kind of similar because the driver technology is not that different. Yeah, so it's got mid bass. It's quite punchy. It's quite quick. It just doesn't have the same amount as like the Blon does. But some people have criticised the Blon for having too much mid bass. So, you know, take the how you want to. But mids are pretty good. It's got slightly forward upper mids, which seems to be the trend in, from Chinese gear, from Chi-Fi. It's not too bad though. It's not shouty like some of the ones. But yeah, lower mids are fine. I don't know really, no real problems at all in the lower mids. But yeah, upper mids are a little bit forward. And then when you get into the treble, I think it's quite extended. Listening these back to back with the Blonds, these have a lot more extension up top. They don't really get sibilant, and then it rolls off again. So if you can, these have more treble presence than the Blonds do, and the Semkarches, if that's what you want. We'll come back together. So yeah, that's my opinion of the treble. It's very detailed. It sounds very. It's very natural. It's probably another good way to put it. It sounds not like a lot of BAs or hybrids. Can sound kind of artificial. They don't sound like that. I wouldn't say these are better or worse than the Blonds or the Semkarch CNT1s. They're just different. Like there's no real winners. But if they ever made another version, I like to see, detachable cables. So yeah, that's my opinion of the treble. Isolation I thought was pretty good. The sound stage wasn't really big at all. The imaging was okay. I haven't tried this in any games. Just I've tried it with a few parts of movies and mainly music. The driver seems to work really fast, like the other carbon drivers. It seems to be a fast driver, and the bass response is good. These carbon drivers, they seem to have really good bass response. And yeah, not too bad. Do I recommend these? Possibly. It all depends. Like if you have a Blon or the Semkarch, this may be a side grade. It all depends on what kind of equipment you have. But these are a solid offer. I wish they would have been a bit cheaper. If these was like close to the £30 or under, and then they can directly match the Blonds. But then with the Blonds you have to change cables, tips, blah blah blah. But these out of the box are a better option because you don't need nothing else. Obviously you're stuck with the cable. You get the two sets of tips. One of these is bound to fit, to fit your ears. It's got a nice pouch it comes with. At least you get 5 different colours to pick from. It's a solid option. It all depends on like what kind of earphones you've already got. If you've got some low end earphones, like lower quality ones, and you get to these, and that's a good upgrade. But if you've already got like a solid mid range pair of earphones, like the Blonds, Semkarch, like a CCA, like C12 as a hybrid, or even those QKZ VK4s, which they perform really well for the price. It all depends if it's worthwhile. I also didn't EQ these, but yeah, I think that's it really. Not what else I can say. But yeah, from my opinion, in the treble area, they're quite well extended. There's a lot of detail and natural sounding. and they really say them really. Do I have a Blon? Let me just get my Blon. Okay, this is the left one. Left. The size difference. So the shape's completely different. So these are very small, and even them are smaller than the Blons. Those are an easy wreck as well, but bear in mind you need cables because the standard ones are too stiff. But that obviously I discussed that in that review. And I think that's it, guys. I think I'm out. How much else I can say about these, really? Before I go, I'm surprised not many people talk about these. There's the odd few reviews on like Head-Fi, but not many people talk about it. A few people who watched the video suggested I should try them. I thought, oh, okay, I'll give them a try. So I bought them. And yeah, there's not much chat on any forums. So yeah, I appreciate people suggesting earphones to me. I don't mind that. It's always worth. If they're cheap enough, it's worth testing. I don't really try anything really expensive because of diminishing returns. But yeah, I think that's it. Thanks for watching my review, and I'll be back soon with something else, I guess. Catch you later.